I know. It's a very brave choice, I think, of the writer and of the filmmaker to sort of, you know, not over-explain what happened and let the audience's intellect, you know, do the work. And I think it was quite refreshing. I loved reading it because I just wanted to know what happened to this woman. What's going on here, and why is this beautiful Adriana Barraza staying by her side, being sort of treated kind of like crap? So yeah, I mean, I thought that was a very, really unique and really fresh.
I do think that the film is a great tribute to women, to motherhood, and to coming back in a way.
Into the hope, deciding to
I
live.
don't want to give anything away, but
Yeah.
you know, that was great.
Overcoming grief, overcoming trauma. It's an easy place for people to get stuck and to get comfortable and and feel safe. Or the guilt of moving on means they're forgetting and they don't want to do that. I think it's hopeful. A lot of people have come out of out of screenings and who are chronic pain sufferers, depression, people suffering with depression, addiction. You know, I mean, it's incredible how many. What I think is wonderful about this film is the conversations that are starting to happen, and the amount of people also who have said, "That's my mother, that's my sister." I had no idea, and I had very little patience and compassion. You know.
What do you think is tougher, mental pain, psychosomatic pain, or physical pain?
Say that one more time.
What is harder to deal with, emotional pain? Or
Well, I think if you add all
physical or
well, I mean, I think all of those, you know, add the physical pain along with the emotional trauma and then the addiction. I mean, I think you're dealing with one hot mess.
I mean, you're totally different from Claire, and I'm glad because you look great and all that. But how did you accomplish to walk like this, with so much pain? It was like.
Yeah. It was just physical.
Did
it was
you put things? Or?
I did. I had this wonderful back brace that I wore that wouldn't allow me to slouch. That just sort of was like my own little top reminder about just never, and just nothing moves. Everything, even down to the breathing hurt. And to lower the voice, everything was affected by the pain. And every movement hurt.
Are you happy that you're not Claire in a way?
Let me tell you, to have my body back, anybody would appreciate. I mean, if you had like a pinched nerve or you've had like a disc that's, anyone who's had even a little bit of a physical like ouch, I mean, imagine that over your entire body every day, all day. And you can I just have so much extreme compassion for these people.
I think that when you were shooting this film, Justin was shooting Leftovers.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a happy camp.
Which is a tough one too.
Yeah.
Do you think that helped to keep yourself in the mood for the movie?
Well, I think it was really good that he was on the East Coast and I was on the West Coast. Let me just say that. We would have phone calls about like, you know, he beat up a tree and a fake bear and I was, you know, ODing, and his schedule was brutal, my schedule was brutal, so it was perfect.
You know, the image that we have of you is not like Claire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to do more movies like this? People will love
I hope so. This was, I was like fed. I felt like I was watered, like a plant needed watering. It was quite refreshing.
Maybe a question, but maybe he has no. Since the director is openly gay, I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the sensibility of a gay man is different when it comes to directing a woman that goes through that?
No, Daniel is gay.
That's what I mean.
Oh, no.
And he's openly, so that's why
I don't think your sexual preference has anything to do with how you have compassion and empathy for a human being, for sure. I mean, my gosh. I think if you are a compassionate, empathetic human, you will be able to connect with a character and an actor, and then melding those two things.
What do you think Claire will do without Silvana?
Die. I don't think that I think Silvana's basically keeping her alive. And I think she loves her. And I think Silvana is also going through her own loss. you know, as well. It's not just Claire. I mean, this is a whole family that's been destroyed.
Do you think Claire is very egotistic at that certain point?
Very which?
Egotistic.
Egotistical? I think she's
Egotistical.
stubborn. I think she's a stubborn bitch and stuck.
What was the biggest satisfaction that you got from this?
Oh, just doing it. Honestly, just doing it. I mean, I feel like I did something. I felt like I climbed Mount Everest. I mean, in a way, like in terms of being an actor, I really felt like I was so excited to take it on, and I'm just so proud of it.
You felt very comfortable with the seriousness of the story. Can you comment a little about that?
I was just blown away by that this actually could, someone has, I mean, obviously we know people who live with extreme trauma and loss. It's every single day. And I just thought that the character was written so beautifully, and it was so authentic. And even doctors or people that I gave it to read to make sure there was no false moves or something didn't ring true were saying that it's such a beautiful portrayal of a beautifully written character of someone who's going through something like this.
Also, I think it's a great exploration on loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I feel
Isolation, loneliness.
Have you ever felt like that?
I think, yeah, sure, we all have. Absolutely. Times in my childhood I can remember feeling that way. Yeah. But it's good to feel that. You get to connect to yourself.
Being melancholic is good too sometimes. You don't have to be laughing all the time, right?
Nope, no one in life is laughing all the time, and if they are, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.